Hi YouTubers, I'm standing where there used to be quartz coming out of the ground, just like this. These large white quartz stones are at the pinnacle of a mountain, which is actually a large ridge now, that runs north-south about 10 miles to a large mountain called Mount here in Vermont. This was all quarried out over time. You can see inside the wall right here is a huge piece of quartz. I have an 850-foot artesian well that goes down through this mountain. It was ridged, it was ledged the whole way down, 850 feet. From the quarry we have this standing stone, these two of them, sitting on top of a large mound. Standing stone has carvings on it, you can see. Looks like a guy riding a horse to me, sitting on the back of a horse, some type of horse. It also has, if you come around here, a bird effigy on it. Pretty cool, huh? The mound, it's all built. You can see all the stones that are placed in there. There's a little hole, some animal dug down in there. And I'm sure there's red ochre about 15 to 24 inches down. There's artifacts popping out of the ground. This large standing stone points to an ancient serpent wall, which you can see on the horizon. The head of the serpent is right in there. Certain times of the year it lines up with the serpent wall, and you get alignments, solar, lunar, and celestial alignments. As we walk down east-ish, south and east, this big maple tree right here is pushing up all these artifacts off the ledge that you see here. Those are all artifacts. And you can see the worked stone. They laid stone on top of mounds that they built, but this tree just grew up out of the mound, and there are all the artifacts. Some of them are very nice, and we have weapons here, we have tools, hammers, axes, little effigies that look spiritual in some way. Come back down here, there's another standing stone trying to come out of the ground. It's all covered right here. And we have the eastern horizon down there. It's a nice big tall stone. But there's a mound down there, a mound over there. This is all built up here. And this mound here is very interesting because when I found it dug open, my dog had dug an animal out of there, I think. And if you come down here, there's a layer of red ochre in here. This artifact lies at the top of it. There's a layer of red ochre. See it? And they made the red ochre here on the property. It's about 15 inches down. These stones all came out of that small hole. Some of them I brought up to the cabin. They were effigies of mammoths and other animals, and they were in the red ochre layer down there, and they were all red, like that piece there. These are very old mounds. I'm not going to take anything else out of it. I don't know what to do with it except to document it. There were mammoth carvings taken out of it though. And there's another mound there. They face the east where they would have buried people. That would have been long ago, and there's probably no remains left if there were any here. Red ochre mounds have and have not had remains in them. The soil here doesn't demand it, but they face the rising sun. This huge stone comes out of the ground. This is one of my favorites. And believe it or not, this stone is a whale effigy. And it looks like it's breaching right out of the ground. These people were seafarers. Sea turtle effigies are here, as large as this. They use split stones everywhere to mark special places. They carved them, they worked them, and for whatever reason, they'll have a split, and they all have effigies on them, and they all have a reason for being. Like that one up there, and the serpent wall. There's a lot of artifacts that are strange, and I haven't seen any others like them anywhere. But I'm going to keep trying to figure out who made these things, how old they were. They were very ancient. And there's artifacts coming out of the ground everywhere. They just pop up because the ledge forbids them from going too far down. And there they are. Like I said, some of them have well, not prehistoric, but Ice Age animals on them. A lot of personal weapons, mostly axe heads. Some of them have effigies on them, or most of them do actually. And like I said, this here was a mound of some kind, very special. Never seen anything like it. And I have pulled some effigy stones out of here, picked them up and brought them home and looked at them. A lot of tools, a lot of shards, a lot of broken stones, but all in one place, which is kind of interesting to me because I don't find anything like this around here. They were quarrying this stuff, making things out of it, and leaving their evidence. But they also made little effigies of animals that they placed in certain places and never took with them. And you find things like that here. Isn't that beautiful? There are walls here, carines, chambers, megalith stones, standing stones, chambers with megalith stones for roofs, a roof, at least one of them on the property. And no one knows who or what made them. No one in the area can tell me. I've talked to history teachers, I've tried to talk to the state archaeologists, but they ignore me. Don't know why. This is so fascinating. You can't find these things unless you look, and they're everywhere. So when you look, you start seeing, your perception changes, and you see that it's not just an erratic sitting there, that someone carved this into a three-sided pyramid that lines with the horizon and the serpent wall, which can be seen right there. I have video of the sun setting in that notch. March 31st, I believe it was. Setting behind this point, which was all carved out. Well, there we go. I'm going to walk towards the serpent wall now You can see the head of it sticking up out of the wall like it's floating there. And it's been there for thousands of years because I found mammoths in the walls, stones with mammoths. And this serpent wall, these people, they were into vipers, not just snakes, but vipers, ones that bit. They made tunnels that watched the horizon. They carved triangles into the top of their viper heads. They built incredibly beautiful walls, intricate and all hollow. You can bang on one stone and hear it from the other end. Sitting on quartz ledge, strange fins coming out, almost like they're sea creatures. Giant, giant, giant stones placed on smaller stones with tunnels. Carines built into the wall that look like sea creatures. And this wall looks like it's falling down here, but it's not. It actually goes underground. And we're sitting on a hill, on a ledge, and all the water scoots down